suppose I've always, I started out as an actor and as a theatre maker, and discovered that I like directing. That the thing that I really want to do is to be a storyteller. So I suppose, I mean, you can call it a dream. You can also maybe call it a compulsion or an addiction. It's certainly not the most stable thing that I could be doing, but it's something that I do because I feel that I have to do it. You know, it's to some extent it's about expressing something that is a feeling that sits on the inside that is you can't really put into words, but you find a way of turning it into something that people can understand and see, and I think that's very meaningful. And I was just in a workshop this morning with Walter Sully, and he was saying that it's about making sense of ourselves by exploring a particular subject matter or a theme or trying to tell a certain story. We go on a journey to discover something. So we don't always know why we do it. But hopefully we learn something along the way. It's impossible to say. I mean, ideas come from hundreds of different places. They come out of things that happen. I mean, I've just started developing a theatre project about Oscar Pistorius. So that is something that's just been in the world, in South Africa. This court case. And it's something that has really captured the imaginations of a lot of people, including myself, and so that comes from there. But this film that I'm working on at the moment, it comes in response. I think it's an emotional response to this sort of spate of homophobia in Africa. The idea that homophobia is un-African, and it's an idea that I find offensive. And so the story is sort of pushing back against those perceptions. Other projects come from much more personal places in terms of trying to understand my own identity, in terms of a cultural and a ethnic, racial, sexual identity, all of these things. So yeah, inspiration can come from anywhere, I think. Yeah. Well, this film, The Wound, is very specifically about the collision between gay sexuality and traditional African culture, and it's a very big issue, and it's becoming bigger and bigger, and it's one that I feel very strongly about, that this perception that homosexuality is un-African or that it threatens African culture. Something that makes me angry, and I think the film is certainly an emotional response to that idea. So I would say, as a cause, that's something that at the moment I'm putting all of my resources behind. Yeah. And just to be clear, I mean, in South Africa, you get these extremes coexisting. So there are liberal attitudes to being gay. There are people who live who are out, who are completely okay with their sexuality and in kind of a contemporary, especially in an urban context. And then this sits very closely to a more kind of a traditional mindset where often it's taboo and still unaccepted. And a lot of people actually move between the two. They have a kind of a rural identity and an urban identity, and they sort of flip between the two. So it's something that is very, very interesting. This dichotomy, these extremes that coexist so closely together.
Yeah. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
John, for having us.
Cool.